read between the lines.
Yeah. No, I said the man's name.
Yeah.
Talking about Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy from Notre Dame football.
Nah, that guy's
Yeah, Tim, he's
a
a hero. Yeah, they put him up on his shoulders and said, Rudy, because did he do something or did he just go in the game?
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
People love that movie, and I don't really know what it's about.
I don't know. It's about a boy that tried to play football.
Yeah.
And they told him he couldn't play football.
Right.
But then at the end, he played football.
Yeah, but like at the end, did he really play football, or they like put him in a game as just like a show of like?
If I know Hollywood, and I know Hollywood,
right?
I'm gonna say he won the game in the movie.
Is Rudy a true story?
I bet they say it's based on a true story, but I bet the real Rudy probably lost the game.
Yeah, probably lost the
Everybody
game.
was like, Rudy, like that part's true. Everybody's
Right.
like, Rudy.
The real Rudy went in the game, was immediately decapitated. All right, Tim, enough of your conspiracy theories.
I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I just think people are dumb. That's not a conspiracy.
Tim, that's a conspiracy theory.
People are just dumb lizards.
Let's talk about the topic at hand.
Yeah, this is a classic Tom episode, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not a no, and I'll go into great detail about why it is not a classic Tom episode, Tim.
Introduce the topic.
We're talking
Reynolds.
about the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES.
The NES.
The NES.
The family computer.
The reason we're talking about it, Tim, is because they put out this NES Classic, this little tiny NES with 30 games.
Right.
That you could buy for $60, hook it up to your television at home. Did you get one of these, Tim?
Tom? I heard, when did they announce them? 3 months ago or so?
4 months ago.
4 months ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'll buy one for everybody that I need to buy a Christmas present for.
Mm-hmm. So just your 5 sons?
Yeah, me. I buy myself a present.
First things first.
My 5 sons. Mm-hmm. And then the mall Santa. I usually I bring
like
him something. Well, not as a tip because
the
boys are too old to go. Exactly.
Oh, the boys are too old to go to Santa now.
Yeah, and I feel like they've aged out.
Right.
Small Santa's still there.
Yeah.
A token of my appreciation.
Right. It's kind of like a pension for him.
Yeah, exactly. Every year I get him something very nice.
Right, and you were going to get him a $60 NES Classic.
I don't think that's weird. Is that weird?
No, it's not weird at all, Tim. I think it's sweet.
Yeah, and then I just get the elves candy canes.
Oh, that's rude. They're up to their eyeballs in candy canes.
Yeah, but guess what? Those weird tropical flavored
those
canes.
ones are great. I love those.
Those are gross.
No, you're gross.
What were they
I know you would think that.
Out?
No, those ones are great, Tim, because enough with peppermint. You can only take so much peppermint, and then you want a nice sweet candy
Tom,
cane.
where I come from, a candy cane is peppermint, and that's that.
Well,
love it or leave it.
Well,
you
open
son
up
of a
your eyes,
bitch.
Tim. Nowadays we got tropical candy canes, and they're delicious too.
Everything's gonna change. We're gonna be saying Merry Christmas. It's gonna be federally mandated, and every candy cane is gonna be peppermint. We're all gonna love it.
No, I like the.
It's gonna be amazing. You're not gonna believe it.
I like the
beautiful.
I like the multicolored candy canes that taste tropical. I don't think they even taste tropical. I think they're just like sweet instead of peppermint.
Well, get a job as a mall elf.
I don't think I could, Tim. I'm 6'2".
Oh, you're so tall, Tom.
Yeah, they don't want a mall elf.
Why don't you go to the land of the giants?
Maybe I will go to the land of the giants, Tim. You keep saying that and watch what happens. So anyway, you got... Tim, you had one beer like a half hour ago.
I haven't eaten all day either.
So you did get NES Classics or you didn't?
I did not.
No, of course you
here's
didn't,
the thing.
Tim.
I heard about it, and I was going to buy it because it's so cheap.
Right.
And it's fine. And it's a dumb little gift to get for people.
Right, yeah. It's a stocking
seems really
stuffer.
easy to make for them. Mm-hmm. And then it's sold
well,
out
why
everywhere.
do you care if it's easy to make for them?
I don't want anybody to go to too much trouble for old Tim. Nah, it seems like a big deal. Don't worry about
and
it.
You say, oh, yeah, the manufacturer said it wasn't that big of a deal to make. It was very easy for them.
I don't want anybody to
They were
have
able to hire very cheap labor. Yeah. No, because these things are sold out everywhere. What the hell's wrong with Nintendo? That's my first question. Question number one.
I don't know. They were probably putting too much of their effort into Pokemon Go.
Tim, first off, they weren't even making Pokemon Go. There was like another company making Pokemon Go. They don't have to...
Pokemon.
Pokemon Go. They don't have to worry about that. Their concern was just making these little NESs. And they were like, how many could people... What, Tim?
Nothing, go on.
They're like, how many of these could people possibly want? 10? All right, I guess we'll make 10.
Yeah, how many did they make? Do we know?
No, I mean, they didn't say. But
so, wait, what was the premise of these machines?
The premise of these machines...
How many games did it have on it?
30 games.
30 of the most popular games?
Yeah, I mean, that's the amazing thing, because when this was announced, it was like, oh, it's $60, is a little NES, hooks up to your TV, comes with 30 games. I'm like, great. Those are going to be real shit games, though. Probably like... I was going to name some shit games, but they were games I was going to name Popeye, but that's a pretty fun game.
You know what? There were a lot of good licensed properties that would have been fun games.
Yeah.
And I think our loyalty to these
properties, our loyalty to Popeye,
blinded us a little bit. Because that Popeye game was not good, nor was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
No, that's a good game.
It's not a good game.
It
Tom.
is a good game.
It's just it's lovable characters.
Yeah. The Three Stooges game, that's not a good game.
What, are you kidding me?
What, the Three Stooges game? You think that's a good game?
I loved that game. But again,
it was fun to play and hilarious.
Blinded by my loyalty, my undying loyalty to the Stooges.
Right. I can separate my loyalty from the Stooges and see that is not a good game.
I had extreme loyalty to the Stooges.
Well, that's served you well.
I had a Three Stooges watch at one point. I had a poster.
Did the watch do anything, or just had the picture of the Three Stooges?
Picture of it told time.
Yeah.
It allowed me to see what time it was whenever I looked at my wrist.
Right. So it was a watch with Larry, Moe, and Curly Joe.
Yeah. No. It was Joe Besser.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, God. Those lesser Stooges were really lesser.
Oh, yeah.
Real
and
step down.
They were running through them.
Yeah.
So the little NES was not full of crap games. It was like, oh my goodness, these are actually the games you would want.
Right.
All the Super Mario games, all the Zelda games, Metroid.
Never played Metroid. That seemed too scummy for me.
Too scummy?
I was just like, oh, that's there was this kid in my class I won't name because he's a big fan. But he was like,
well, wouldn't that give him a thrill then?
No, because not if I was telling him that he was the scummy kid. He liked those kind of games. Metroid and Double Dragon fell into that for me. It's like, if you like that, you're trash.
Tim, I can understand Double Dragon because that was an arcade game first.
Yeah,
and
anybody that hung out at an arcade,
right?
Get out of town. Get out of my town. I live in a nice town. There's a nice community. Get out of here.
Go to the arcade at the next town over. All right. Well, you know what?
So anyway, it had games. They sold out. Everybody's mad.
Everywhere. Well, I want to go through the games.
Will there be more made
Yeah,
before
there are going to be
Christmas?
more, but Jesus, they announced this thing 4 months ago.
Yeah, no, I promised my local mall Santa, though, Tom.
Yeah, make enough of them.
Yeah.
I was reading reports online because I wasn't going to wait in line like a dope for any of these things. I don't think I've ever waited in line for a product.
That is not true, Tom.
A release day product, I don't think I've ever waited in line for.
You're kidding me.
One time I waited in line for a new iPad, but it was because I was drunk.
All right.
So that doesn't count.
You're usually drunk.
I'm not usually drunk. It was because I was drunk
You're a problem drinker.
I was nearby the Fifth Avenue store, and they were open all night.
You, at one point, you have been to at least one Black Friday doorbuster.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
And but you did. You waited online for a product.
Well, okay, fair. Over 10 years ago, I waited in line for a product, Tim. God, you win.
You just made a blanket statement that you didn't.
That was for a good deal on a product. That wasn't
right
for a new product. That's what I'm saying.
What about the Wii?
I pre-ordered the Wii.
I know, but then what happened?
I waited in line for like 2 minutes. It was not very long.
No. And then when you realized you didn't order enough controllers.
Oh, yeah. I waited in line for a controller.
I was with you. We went to the Toys R Us in Times Square.
Yeah, we cut the line.
What weird lives we had back then.
Yeah.
That we were like, yeah, I'll go to the Toys R Us in Times Square to buy a controller for a video game
It was
system.
like the middle of the night, too.
No, it was the middle of the day.
Oh, was it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, we needed the nunchucks. We didn't have any nunchucks.
Yeah, you wouldn't even let me get on the Ferris wheel.
Well, that had nothing. Tim, we were there for one reason and one reason
I know.
only.
Well, you were.
Yeah.
I was there for one reason, and one reason only. It was a different reason.
To go on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Did that Toys R Us close?
I think so.
Oh, that stinks.
That and the ESPN Zone, which friend of the show, Christine Fems, will tell you had the best nachos in New York City.
Oh, wow.
And it was right across the street from that Toys R Us.
High praise.
Times Square ain't what it used to be, Tom.
No, it sounds like it's not. I guess that's what people talk about when they talk about old New York.
Yeah.
Before
The Toys R Us and freaking...
before they came and cleaned up Times Square when you could get a decent plate of nachos at ESPN Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to go wait in line to play some 30-year-old games, but I was more than happy to refresh a web page to buy them.
That's true.
But they were immediate.
I didn't even realize it was on sale until I saw somebody tweeting, complaining about it.
Yeah. It sold out immediately, Tim. And then I read reports online. They said people who went to the stores were like, yeah, we got a shipment of 5 of these things, and then that's it.
Reminds me of the time I waited all night for Radiohead tickets.
Yeah, and then...
Only the first 2 people online got tickets.
Only 2 people got to go to the Radiohead show?
Yeah.
That must have been a hell of a show for them, though.
It was. I was one of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't get this thing. So I kind of don't even want to do this episode because, where are we?
Salt in the wound.
Well, and just increasing the hype.
Why the H don't we get... We're talking about the NES. We're hyping it.
Right.
Why don't you give us a review copy? We'd be kind.
Me?
Not you, but freaking...
Nintendo?
Yeah, Mr.
Nintendo? Mr. Mario?
Yeah.
Because they don't have any, Tim. They don't need to send out review copies of these things.
The Verge got one.
Yeah, well, they're a technology website, Tim. We're a podcast where you spend the first 10 minutes complaining about daylight savings time.
I'm not complaining. You missed my whole point.
All right. I want to go through this list of games, Tim.
I fudging love David savings time.
Tim, Jesus.
Need a nap is what I need. Well, Cripes. It's been a rough week, Tom.
Can you go through this list, Tim? I want to hear your opinions on these games.
All right.
Balloon Fight.
Don't know what that is. It seems like, was it like the first game or something?
It's the first game on the list.
Is this alphabetically?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know about it. Do you? I bet it could be fun, though. I like balloons.
Right.
Not a fan of violence.
All right. Fair. Bubble Bobble.
Bubble Bobble's great.
Bubble Bobble's a great game. I would buy this thing for $60 just for Bubble Bobble.
I wouldn't.
Well, now somebody's going to be like, oh, you can buy a Bubble Bobble arcade game for... Yeah. I don't want to hear it.
Would you ever consider... You have a lot of dumb shit.
I don't really like Bubble Bobble.
Would you consider having an arcade game in your home?
Would I consider? Yeah, Tim, I've considered it many times.
What game would you buy?
Oh, I would get something that could switch the games out.
No, what fun is that?
The fun is
you
then
have
I'm
a
not...
better... monitor. Your TV is a better vessel for that.
Yeah,
Just
but why would I not get an arcade game that I could switch the games and play different games? Why would I be stuck to one game, Tim? Why would I live in the past?
Because it's kitschy.
I don't want kitschy.
You love kitsch.
No.
Tom Reynolds, addicted to kitsch.
The next game, Castlevania.
I liked Castlevania.
The game after that, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest.
Simon's Quest is what I got into, because that turned into a side-scroller at points.
What was the first one?
I feel like it was like one of those, you saw it from above.
Like Pac-Man?
Maybe I'm thinking of...
You're thinking of Zelda.
Zelda and Link.
Yeah, you dummy. Donkey Kong.
Why didn't they just call Castlevania Pennsylvania?
Tim...
It's very clearly modeled off Pennsylvania. You been to Pittsburgh, Tom?
Donkey Kong.
Now,